Hello everyone and welcome to Authentic Now Yoga, the online yoga studio for anybody and everybody. My name is Jody Pinole and today we're going to have a slow motion class. Because sometimes one of the hardest things for us to do, some of us, is to slow down. And also, when you slow down, you learn so much about what's really going on, as opposed to using momentum or just jumping from point A to point B. When you slow down and you're there and present for the whole process, you learn a thing or two. If you're a musician, you've probably had some experience with this and you're like, oh, my fingers can just fly and my voice can just skip over all those hard notes. When you slow it down, you go, oh, yeah, I was trying to cheat a little bit. So sometimes we do that with our postures as well and our movements. But my main intention about doing a slow motion class really is just to enjoy that pace, to slow it down and really enjoy every little step of the way. So we're going to start with our mindfulness piece. And I want to invite you to put your hands under your armpits. It creates a little more of an inward circuit. So we're just going to use this time to get more grounded and present with ourselves. Even I notice my hands under my armpits grounding me in the moment. So just find your easy seated pose. Find your connection with your body. What's going on with it? What do you notice? How are things feeling? Maybe take a little before snapshot of what it's like to be you right now. If it's comfortable to close your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. And just notice if there's any places of holding tension. See if you can let those release. And then bring your awareness to your body breathing itself. So just notice the breath. Inhalations, exhalations. That's all we're doing is just observing. And then without changing anything, just give a count to your inhalation and your exhalation. It's arbitrary. We're just sort of tracking how long is the inhalation, how long is the exhalation, and then we're just going to slowly add a little bit to that. So maybe it's 3 count for an inhalation, 4 count for an exhalation, and then just add enough to even them out if they're not even. So slow down whichever one is shorter. Until you have the same count for your inhalation as you do for your exhalation. And then add 1 more count to each. And then next round, add one more count. Just nice and easy. Nice. And when you finish your round, just simply release your hands and just take a nice full breath cycle, easy, almost like you're yawning or waking up. Nice. Okay, we're going to do our warm-ups on our backs. So let's just get there right now. And then let's take our knees, just slowly move them towards your chest. So we're going to squeeze them in, but we're not yanking them in. We're just going to allow that process to happen as we slowly, slowly bring the knees closer to the chest. Beautiful. Take your hands on top of your knees and just move your knees around to loosen up your hips. So back and forth, you can make circles, which is really nice on your lower back. Feel that massage into the floor. Make sure you switch directions if that's the road you took. All right, so we're going to put the left foot on the mat, knee bent. We're going to extend the right leg up towards the ceiling, and let's just get it open a little bit. You can flex and point the toe. You can make circles. Nice, and then we'll release that leg. Hands can be by your sides. Engage your belly. Just kind of bring that lower belly down towards the mat. And then we're simply going to lower and lift that leg. So try and keep it in the same lane as the hip. Just nice, easy movements. Whatever your range of motion is, if it's too hard to take it all the way down and all the way up, just adjust. Make sure that you're supporting the movement though. And then finish your round with your leg up. And then we're going to go slow motion. You choose the speed, but just slow that way down. And then you can see what happens. Where are all the muscles engaged and when? Do you have the support you need? Lots of funny little twitches happening. Take it through one more round whenever you're finished with that round. So a lot of core support here. Nice, and then give that knee a squeeze whenever you're finished with your round. And then we'll switch sides. So we'll hug in the left, extend that up towards the ceiling. Then just a couple rounds of nice, easy lowering and lifting. Not going super fast, but we're definitely not going slow. Maybe momentum is helping a little bit. For creaky floor. All right, now I'm gonna slow that down. So really engage that lower belly to make sure that this leg has the support that it needs and the back. take your time, making sure that you are there for every moment and it's all connected and it's all supported. Do another round whenever you're ready. Whoops. I went on autopilot and started lifting more quickly. All right, give that a squeeze in whenever you're finished. And then we're going to meet up with both knees in. So we're just going to do a little twist here. Let's take your arms out to your sides. And just nice, easy, not super slow, but not super quick, just nice, easy twisting with the knees close in. Just finding your range of motion. And then when you've finished your next round, we're going to slow it way down. So your arms are going to be a little bit more of a support here. You're going to engage more of your core just to make sure everything's safe and you don't tip over or collapse or whatever. But you're just going to lower your knees to the side. It doesn't matter what side. And depending on your range of motion, you might want that angle open a little bit more or closed a little bit more. Just play with that. And all we're just slow motion like a glacier melting. Moving. Nice. And then bring your knees back up whenever you're ready. Slow motion, same way. Yes. Over to the other side. Seeing where the gaps in support are, if there are any. And then let's do one more round. So we're going to slowly bring those knees back up. We're going to find our twist on the first side. What do you notice as you're slowly lowering those knees? Then we're going to bring them to rest on the mat. If you need to put a block under there, you may stop, get a block, put that under there, or just open that angle if you need to. And then you can take your hand on that thigh, on that knee. Just slowly move that twist a little bit deeper. Nice, keeping that opposite shoulder down. Reaching that arm, opposite arm out. Yes, all right, release that knee. Reach that arm out for support and slowly lift like you're moving through molasses in January. And over to the other side. And then if you want, when you find your resting place, you can take that hand and just help that twist a little bit deeper. Slowly reaching the opposite arm away from the body, opening the shoulder, opening the rib cage. Yeah, and let that breath just flow nice and slowly. Beautiful. When you're ready, release your hand, slow motion. Bring your arm out for support and then slowly lift those knees back up, which means you're going to want to engage that core. Get all that dialed in. All right, we're just gonna roll onto our right side. If you've been on your right side, you can just go back to that side, but if not, just roll over. Just take a breath here. And then let's slowly push ourselves up. Notice what's required. Okay, so we're gonna find ourselves on our mats. So let's take the left shin forward and the right shin back. So we're gonna find a deer pose. You want both sit bones to be seated on the mat. If that's not possible, take a blanket, a towel, and put it under the lower one to even it out. Okay. So, once you've got your sit bones nice and connected to whatever it is they're connected, I want you to reach your spine up, find that nice, tall, vertical spine. Beautiful. Now we're just going to pivot that on its little pelvis, face over the left thigh, and come into a forward fold. So let's just do it at a normal pace. Walk yourself down, find that edge. Nice. Let the breath be slow. Imagine everything that's happening. Even if you went into it at a normal speed, right now we can just imagine it's all slowed down. And you can witness the release happening. Yes. All right, let's walk ourselves back up. We're going to walk our hands off of our hip, hands shoulder width apart, and we're going to find a few push-ups here. So this leg can hover, it can stay down, it can extend, but the push-ups are going to be slow motion. So elbows in towards the ribs, spine is nice and long, and then we're just going to lower down. Doesn't mean we need to hold our breath. If this is hard on the shoulders, just take a tiny, tiny push up. Let's do 2 more. It's nice to go slowly also because it reminds you of all those little alignment cues. Last round. Get my nose all the way down there. Yes, beautiful. All right, sit back up. You can shake out, wiggle out. I just reminded myself of one of those things in front of the car dealerships. Okay, so opposite shin forward, opposite shin back. Find your sit bones. Do you need to adjust? It's very likely that one side, maybe you got both sit bones down, the other side you didn't. That's normal, we're asymmetrical. All right, sit bones grounded, spine tall, face that thigh, and then just come into your forward fold. So it doesn't matter how far, just you pay attention to what your edge is for your body. I notice definitely that my flexibility is different in this posture. Slow it down, watch the release. Encourage what isn't releasing to release. Yeah, it doesn't do to force things, but when we give things time, you never know what can happen. All right, so we'll take our hands off of that hip. Did I say we walked it up? All right, hands are shoulder width apart. Lengthen the spine. Elbows in, shoulders away from the ears. This leg can remain on the mat. It can lift, it can extend. You choose, and all you're going to do is take 3 nice slow rounds of push-ups. Lengthening. Don't let those shoulders creep up towards your ears. They want to, I think, I imagine. Just because mine do. Last round, coming back up. Nice. And then let's shake it out. Okay, we're gonna do 1 round of sun salutations super slowly, which I love. I love sun salutations anyway, but slow, it's the best. Okay, so come to the front of your mat. So we'll just find a nice standing pose with our feet underneath our hips and our spine nice and tall, hands in prayer pose. And we're going to take 1 nice, full, slow breath cycle. Maybe count like you counted in the beginning. Beautiful. Then slowly, like you're moving through water, release your arms, bring them up overhead. And then in that process, you're lengthening all the way from the feet to the crown of the head, slowly finding a little back bend here. Watch the opening of the front body, the contraction of the back body. And then we're going to take all of that length forward into a forward fold. Bend your knees if you need to. And just spend a breath cycle here, allowing things to let go. Nice. All right, we're going to take our left leg, step it back into a lunge. And then imagine this whole lunge release process is happening in slow motion. Watch the opening in the pelvis. There are lunge modifications in another video if you need that. Nice length in the spine. Plant those hands. Engage the shoulders. We're going to step that leg back to meet the other. And you're going to find a down dog. You can slow motion work your way into that. Yes. You can almost hear the soundtrack slow down. We're going to come forward onto our knees. Our chest and our chin and our elbows are in towards the ribs again, just like when we did our push-up. Slow it all down. Slide onto your belly, onto the tops of the feet, shoulders away from your ears as you lift up into whatever cobra you've got available. we're going to lift those hips, push the hips back, find a down dog. And then engage your core as we step that left foot forward. Now, since you're moving slowly, you're probably going to have to help it forward. No momentum there. And then lengthen, release. What's happening with your right hip flexor? What's happening with your left butt muscles, glutes? Nice. All right. Lengthen that back up again. You're going to step the right foot forward to meet the left and find a forward fold. Just watch your spine lengthen because gravity is helping. And then engage those legs. Extend that spine. Bring yourselves all the way up. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Standing position. Little back bend. Yes, hands back to prayer pose. Nice, a few full breath cycles here. All right, with your next inhalation, you're slowly moving those arms through air, through water, bringing them all the way back up. Opening the front body. And then reversing that bend, bringing it all the way forward. Stay with it. Stay present. Don't jump. Yes, into your forward fold. And then we'll step back with the right leg. Find your lunge here. Just slow that breath. This is all just taking its time, releasing, and we're giving it time. And it's so good. Yeah. All right, we're going to step the left foot back to meet the right. Find your down dog. Beautiful. Let's come forward on the knees, the chest, and the chin. Remember, the elbows are in towards the ribs. The shoulders are reaching away from the ears. And then slide onto your belly. Same thing with the elbows and the shoulders, away from the ears for the cobra. Curl those toes under. Push the hips back to your down dog. Yes. And then we're going to step that right foot forward. Help it if you need to. Lengthen the spine. Stuff's happening in its own time. Great. All right, let's step that foot forward. Find a forward fold. Whatever yours looks like, you get to do your own authentic postures that work for you and your body. All right, last lift, lengthen slowly, 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 slowly. Yes. And then return to the beginning. And just find your posture. Just settle into that standing mountain pose. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. We're just going to take a few breath cycles to let that all integrate. And then release your hands. So we're just going to take one more standing pose. Let's take our legs together and work on that alignment from bottom to top. Neutral pelvis, neutral rib cage, core engaged, spine lifted, shoulders down and back, head in alignment. Nice. All right, arms by your sides. We're going to sit this down into a chair pose. So the nice thing here about having the legs together is that you can use each other for support. So squeeze those legs towards each other as you sit down, and we'll lift our arms up overhead. And then we're going to sit that back down. If the arms overhead is too extreme, you can take them out 45 degrees. Lean that forward a little bit. Just turn sideways. Make sure that this is engaged. The tailbone's not sticking out too far. You've got some nice support happening here. And then come on out. Release your arms. Wiggle if you need to wiggle or reset. And we're going to do that one more time, super slow motion. So, ground those feet. Start squeezing the legs together all the way from the bottom to the top. Find your vertical alignment. Find your arms over your head or in this position. And then slowly, slowly sit that back down. Now you know your body's saying, I think I actually do need those abs turned on for this. And then you find your edge. How it doesn't matter that you sit all the way down or a little tiny bit. We're all doing the same things. Might just look different. Nice. And then slowly bring yourself out. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Reach and grow. Release your arms. Beautiful. I think that we should have a child's pose. And just almost like a cat, just get into the child's pose very deliberately and consciously. Yeah, pay attention to that breath. See what's happening. Beautiful. All right, let's walk ourselves up. I'm just going to face you. So let's take the hands just behind the back here. If sitting here is too hard, you can use blankets, modifications. You can just sit on a block in between your legs. I did not make a hero's pose modification video, but I think I need to. Okay, all we're gonna do is just take our hands behind us. Find a nice neutral spine first with our hips, our sit bones reaching down, our spine reaching long and tall, and then we're gonna take our hands behind us. Start opening up the collarbones, bring the shoulder blades down and towards each other on your back. And then we'll lift from here all the way up the front body and find a nice little slow motion back bend. So growing, lifting, working your way into that. Imagine I'm coming and grabbing your sternum and lifting it up towards the ceiling. Bringing the neck long and back if that works. Nice. And as you bring yourself out, lengthen as you come forward. Nice. Okay, let's come on to our bellies. And just rest one hand on top of the other. Rest your forehead there. And just allow your body some time to realign as now you're lying on the mat. Nice. All right, let's reach the arms forward, palms down for right now. See if you can get a little more length, reaching the hands forward and reaching the toes back. You can rest on the forehead or chin. Nice. And then lengthen that right leg. Just reach it long. And then lift it towards the ceiling. And lower. And reach the left leg long and lift. Reach your left arm long and lift. And lower. Reach your right arm long and lift. Nice. So I want you to take 2 more rounds very slowly, and you can just simply lift one. You can do what we did, one limb at a time. You can lift opposite limbs. So left leg, right arm. Or you can lift everything all at the same time. Mindfully, slowly, in and out of the posture. Nice. Whenever you're ready, take your hands by your shoulders, by your armpits, and we're just going to push those hips back. Nice long spine. And let's lift the hips over the knees and walk the hands forward. Just get a little puppy stretch here. Finding length between your hands and your hips. Nice, and then walk your hands back in. We're going to come back down onto our backs. I did that kind of slow motion. Nice. All right, we're going to take our hands under our hips. So that, or under our hips so that the pelvis tilts back so the lower back comes in contact with the mat. And then bring your knees towards your chest using your abs. So really give those a good squeeze as you're bringing your knees in. Get your shoulders down. And then from there, extend your legs up. They don't have to straighten if they don't straighten. But I want you to still feel that this is engaged. And then you can squeeze your legs towards each other for a little extra support like we did when we were in our chair pose. And then you're gonna, with all this support, just slowly lower your legs towards the mat. It doesn't matter how far. This works, and bring it back up. And when you bring it back up, I want you to reset. And if you feel like you're losing control, then bend your knees, bring everything back up again. So don't muscle it out if you don't have the support, if your lower back is lifting off and it's all falling apart. All right, so engaging the lower abs, squeezing the legs together, lowering slowly, slow motion. You really get to see when things start to fall apart and what is needed for it to be a supported, safe pose. You listen to your body about how far, what it looks like, and moving slowly, you're way more likely to be able to hear it. Finish up your round. When you're ready to release your legs, just hug them in. And release the feet to the mat. We're going to take our right ankle over our left knee. Reach through, make a clasp either behind the thigh or in front of the shin, depending on what your flexibility will allow. And then we're just going to work this whole structure up towards your chest. Slow motion, witnessing the release. Keep moving. Again, it doesn't matter how far. All right, we're going to release. We're going to slide this foot down to the hip flexor, and we're going to extend the leg on the mat. So your left leg is extended, your right foot is up towards the hip flexor. You're going to let that right knee drop towards the mat. And then just find some alignment here, some length. If you want to, you can reach the right arm overhead. If you can let go of the left foot, and it will stay because you've got some contact and some aliveness there, you can lift the other arm up overhead too. And just witness the lengthening, the growing, the engagement, the slow pace, the slow breath. And then release your arms. Grab that foot, bring the knee up, bend the other knee, unwind. Take your hands into the tops of your femurs and just push away, give a little wiggle there. All right, let's take the left ankle on top of the right knee. Reach through, make a clasp behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Just slowly work your way. It can be a tiny, tiny hair's breadth. It all counts. It all matters. One more nice, full, slow breath cycle. Gently release. So we'll take that foot down to the hip crease, extend the right leg, let that lower, or the left knee lower. Find your alignment. Reach the left arm overhead if you want to. If you can release that foot and reach the other arm up, go ahead and do that. And just lengthen here, breathe. Just this nice, long, drawn out stretch. Nice, everybody. All right, release your arms. Take that foot off, bend the knee. And now here's the time where we take 30 seconds or so and just move in any way. And you can pick whatever speed you want. If you need to speed it up or if you love this slow pace, you choose. There is no right or wrong. Whatever shape you need, whatever movement, motion, go ahead and do it. I never noticed this squeaky floor until I moved slowly. All right, whenever you're ready, make your way into your Shavasana. Just always make sure you're comfortable in a position where you can really release and let go, where you're warm enough, and there's no tension holding you in some position that's not really working for your body. A nice modification here is to bend the knees, bring them towards each other, or put a bolster, a pillow underneath your knees. Is another sweet variation. And then once you've found your position, just slowly start to let go, let the breath release, let the body release. Just imagine you're watching a slow motion video, a time lapse, of all that happens when your body surrenders to gravity. With these next few breath cycles, just really slow down the inhalation and the exhalation. Nice, and then you can start bringing your body back to life. We'll ultimately make our way over to our right side. It's nice to just take a breath cycle or two here. Rest your head on your upper arm. Feel the support of gravity in the floor here. and then we'll slowly bring ourselves up to our seated position. Keeping your eyes closed if that's comfortable. Just keeping that attention more inward. And just find that seated pose, that alignment. Still in that slow pace. And just check in. What is happening? What's it like to be you now after this whole slow class? Is there anything that you want to celebrate or take with you into the rest of your day? Just notice that. And then just one nice, full breath cycle into that whole package right here, right now. Beautiful. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Namaste. Or should I say namaste? Sorry, couldn't resist. Well, I hope you like that. I hope you don't have to rush off and do anything right now. Gotta change your rhythm. Anyway, I'm so glad that you practiced with me today, and I love that you're a part of this community. If you'd like to subscribe and have more of this, that would be wonderful too. Otherwise, I wish you a very wonderful day.